a lot of them. So yeah, it should be a good one tomorrow.
Oh, looking forward to it. All right, back to the couch.
Thank you.
Here's what I'm looking forward to.
I'm looking forward to this as well.
You're really looking
I
forward to
really
it.
like this one.
It's alive. It's Procasso.
Yes!
Because we have the painting seg tomorrow, where we're going to be spending the whole show painting through something which you guys are putting in submissions for now, using the hashtag IamOPL or replying to the tweet on the @OPL Twitter page. You can suggest whatever. We are going to paint tomorrow. We're going to pick the best one. There's already been some good suggestions.
Yes, there has.
We've had some percolation. Ideas are forming, but we thought we'd stay with the art theme and go with another round of Procasso. Your favorite segment, I would say.
Yes, well... Are we going to be able to do them this time? You know what I mean? Last, look, I'm not one to brag, but I feel like we had a really good performance last time. So production, bloody better have stepped up their game. You know, we want some challenging ones.
Here's the thing: these were made without my oversight.
Oh.
So I don't know because I have ideas onto how to make it harder.
Oh, okay.
And we're gonna have to implement them in the next round.
Yeah.
I sucked last time, just so we're clear. Like, you were on the couch with Spawn, I was over there, and our producer was like, your mic's live, by the way, you can jump in at any time. I was
nothing.
dead silent the whole time.
What's the difference between Procasso and Who's That Pro? Come on.
I'm glad you asked, Twitch chat. The answer is Procasso is the faces. It's one
amalgamation.
Face, and Who's That Pro? Come on is a blatant
It's a
copyright.
It's a silhouette.
It's a silhouette. It's a totally different thing.
What did we call them last time? There was like pro zombies or something. We had a word.
Franken Pro?
Franken. Well, yeah. Like, they were little Franken.
Something like that.
Franken things.
Let's bring up the first Franken Pro.
Yes. All right. Let's go.
Oh!
Okay.
God.
Okay, first off the bat, that is very obviously Praetor's head.
Hang on a
Praetor's
second.
head and hair.
Just hang on. Just hang on. Just hang on.
It gets better.
No one talk and just acknowledge that a new person just walked into the room. Look at that. That is terrifying. Okay, so just very quickly, I mean, you are correct. There is a base model, which is the face.
Yep.
There are the eyes, but not the eyebrows. There is the hair.
Wait,
and there are lips. Yeah.
Okay, so
Hair and
eyes
then
are
what?
separate
Lips.
from
Lips.
eyebrows.
Eyes are separate from eyebrows.
It's just so far away from us.
Is
Wait,
there
wait,
any
did you
way
say-
that we can zoom in on the picture?
Yes, on
I'm
the
going
face.
to ask because I'm going to say 90% of that is irrelevant. Unless the nipples belong to a different, like the nipples were a Twitch chat viewer who sent in a picture, and then the torso was someone else.
We don't say that word on our broadcast anymore. But did you say head and hair, like
So-
face and hair?
There it is.
Oh, God.
There is base face, and then hair is different than base face.
okay, because I was going to say, yeah, that's okay. So,
The Praetor is
so
obvious.
Praetor-
The Praetor is obvious.
Praetor is the hair.
Yeah.
Is that Swiffer's lips?
It's an order base human, isn't it?
No, because
That's
before
a Direwolfian jersey.
before we got the zoom in, there was
was
the
it?
slightest little green
is-
pixel at the bottom, and I think it is a Direwolfian.
That is so funny because I see it so hard. Like, I know totally. And I can't let on.
What?
So you haven't
Is it-
got it yet. You
is
haven't,
it-
so what are you focusing on? Like, you can
Well,
pick
I
whatever.
said, is it Swiffer's lips?
It is. They are not Swiffer's lips.
Oh.
Okay.
Ooh.
Is it?
Did you just get one wrong?
Yeah, I
did.
did.
You
Is
did.
it Jew's head?
Are you just saying random
No.
people? No.
Okay,
It is
these
not
are genuine.
Jew's head.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
this is a.
Okay, so how
Production
about...
bloody stepped it
Do
up.
you have any-
I'm useless.
Let's start with the face.
Okay.
My God. By the way, well done to whoever made those. I'm a well-known substitute player.
Oh. Okay. I'm a well-known substitute player.
Yeah.
This
I
is
don't know
for the
any
face.
subs,
Yeah.
man.
For the face.
Yeah. I cannot believe you can't see it. I can't believe no
it's
one here can see
it's
it.
sharp?
It's the most punchable face!
It's sharp. Okay, it's sharp. That makes a lot of sense. Because, yes, on the database,
Oh, yes!
Pinch is the coach and Sharp is the sub. Okay.
Isn't that
There we go.
amazing?
No, it was
Yeah.
a sub.
Okay.
There you go.
Yeah,
Learn
that,
something new.
when it clicked.
When
All right.
it clicked, it clicked.
Okay,
So we have done the hair.
we've got
We've
eyebrows,
done the face.
eyes, nose, and lips. We have 4
Yeah.
more to go.
And I would say attitude.
Attitude.
Yeah. So you've got...
There is
No,
a
you've only
demeanor
got
there.
2 to go. You've got eyes.
Eyes and lips.
Both eyes belong to the same person this time.
Oh.
And you've got lips.
Oh, wait. Oh, so the nose is Sharp's nose.
Yep.
and the eyebrows are Sharp's eyebrows.
Yeah.
Ah, okay. I thought we had 4 left. Okay, so half as much. Eyes? Damn, this is hard. This is
really tough.
This
that-
is so well done.
I want to say...
I have never seen Jake this invested in anything we have done in any
He's
of these
standing
segments.
over the
Including
desk.
League of
Standing over
Legends,
the
by
desk.
the way.
He's concentrated
is-
hard.
Is it? There it is. Look at him.
Hey,
That's
I'm
his
going bald.
That's his bald head. Is it? Do
you want to play?
Swiper's eyes?
No.
Okay, no.
Are they
I'm just
blue
guessing.
eyes? I could
Yeah, they were
really-
blue eyes.
They're bluey green.
I definitely don't know the pro players well enough to pick like eye color. I
Interesting.
can't look at the dials and be like, yeah, they got 3 brown eyes, like one blue and 1 yellow.
That's because you're the second tier caster.
Yeah, of course.
One thing that is worth noting that may help you is usually when you smile, you get like a weird,
Yep.
like,
Oh,
your
like the
eyes
eye
do weird-
crinkle?
So it's
Yeah.
a smiler,
Yep.
Yeah.
which actually does narrow it down. There's not a lot of smilers.
This person
Some
Let's go
serious
close.
Sherlock Holmesing.
is the captain of their team.
Rogue? Is the only cap that I actually know. to be
No,
honest.
it's
The
Rogue.
answer is Rogue.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was
True.
going to say
Right.
he's actually. I think he's the only official captain.
Yeah.
Left.
Is that true?
Yeah.
Right. Well, that was a pretty big.
Is there
clue
anyone
then.
else that has a cap?
You guys don't have a captain.
I would have said Order Swiffer would be captain. Is
Swiffer and
No?
Spooks argue with each other weekly, don't they, about who the captain is?
no okay.
Look at me. I
Is
am
it
the
rotating
captain
bits?
now.
No, but like okay, because we've had a lot of shakeups this week. So we have lips left,
We have lips left.
and this
They're a lip biter.
I
This
have
person bites their lips.
I have no clue.
You said Swiffer because he's a lip biter. He is.
Yeah, sure. I have genuinely no idea.
No.
I
Well,
can't-
they obviously like they have
quite a
black
big
hair
chin.
because they have. Well, no, is that sharp stubble or is it just lip? You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah,
is the stubble
no,
attached to the lip, or is that sharp's?
I can't say definitely, but I would say, given the information I've been given, it should be sharp stubble.
Okay,
The
so
face,
so,
base face.
So like the lips don't have black hair attached. You know what I
I
mean? Like
can't
dark
see
brown hair.
anything other than like who this looks like to me is I punched Curtis so hard his hair went white. That's what because he's like, and it's just I can't see anyone other than Curtis.
Yeah.
Okay, this person is a support.
A support.
Yep.
Crazy.
That's all we got.
No. They are a rookie in the
Oh.
OPL.
I don't think it's Corporal. I mean, you've perked up. I don't think it's Corporal.
Well, Corporal and Ayla are the two.
Is it Ayla?
It's Ayla.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Ayla's lips.
There we go.
There we go.
And
We
then we've
learned something
rounded out
about
a whole face.
There you go. That's a whole
There's
face.
a Franken
Yeah.
support there.
This was
That was a really hard to
Yeah,
pick
this is-
one.
I know. That was good. Thankfully, we have a second one.
much
oh
more
no!
difficult.
How long is this segment
Frank
going?
Much more
Two.
difficult than.
We got time for one more?
Number
Do we have
one,
time for
yeah.
one more? Oh, no. We have 4 minutes total. No, we're moving on. That was it.
Oh,
We'll
okay.
have to do it next time.
There we go.
I thought we were all good.
We smashed through like three faces last time. Was it?
Yeah.
think so,
Oh, we
yeah.
hammered through those.
This was a toughie. This is a toughie.
That was Sharp. Sharp really threw us.
Yeah.
That's
no,
nice.
actually, you know what it is?
That's a TKO.
Production's cheating.
Yeah.
You know, they changed the rules on us. Last time we had like one eye. Now the eyebrows
No,
were
there's
attached
been no
to the face.
consistency. Remember?
Yeah,
No.
this is...
No.
We can't
That's
work
why it's
under
called
these
No.
conditions.
This is like playing in
Come on.
Frostmancy. Like, it's not even a real game.
There's never been consistency. The first time we did this, it was just a close-up of the body
That's
part.
true.
The second time was the Frankenface, and then the third time was
Oh.
was that where we've included the body. When we do this again in a couple of weeks' time, I'm just gonna bring in a human I built. So like, I'm just gonna walk around.
Is that what you do in your free time, Nick?
That's what I do in my free time. That's why,
Well, humans.
that's why I had a very chill week. All right, next game. That's what we need to move on to. Arguably,
Some would say
some would argue
Oh,
could be match of the
what
day.
would they
could be
argue?
match of the day.
Could
Yeah.
be.
Order
No
versus
one
Mammoth.
argues here. We're all very amicable people.
We all get on extremely badly off camera.
Except for the 2% match. the 2% romantic. What was it? The
The Zodiac.
the Zodiac match.
2% of the time we don't get along.
See, you know, we were never meant to be together because you didn't catch the kiss that I threw him.
Yeah,
so
that's true.
there you go. It was never meant to be. Order versus Mammoth. Go to os.lollyspots.com. You can get Blue Essence and all the other nice things that most of you are actually here for. These are the two teams going up against one another. Our spicy tips. This is where the tips start converging.
Yeah. And
No, diverging.
This is where they separate, yeah.
The other one.
Both teams also 5-5 with the same position on the standings right now, the second round robin. Who won last time? Spawn, was it Order? It was Order. Order won last time, so they've got the head-to-head, and Mammoth especially against a team like Order, when you look at the current standings, need to get that head-to-head game back for playoffs implications.
And Mammoth potentially on the rise as well, given last week.
And Order coming off a few tough losses. I think both of these teams haven't had like a stable 2019 split, right? Like Order started low, ramped up, and then have lost some games they feel like they shouldn't have lost. Mammoth already, like they came in super hyped, people calling them the super team. I don't know if they called it themselves, so we will hedge, but obviously they didn't start.
We certainly call them that.
They didn't start where they wanted to, and now they've got a couple of wins, and we're saying, yes, this is a team on the rise. They have looked better much recently, but both of these teams, over the course of the split, have been a bit up and down, and this should be a very good match between them.
Absolutely. If you want to check out the Twitter POV stream, Spooks is who you'll be following on there. And our spicy tips, which we referenced before, Jake and I, both backing Order, the rest of the cast backing Mammoth. This one should be interesting. Let's throw it over to the desk with Pyra and my BFF Jake.
That's like 99% synergy right there. Good stuff.
Certainly is.
Yeah, but this is going to be a great match. It's the fight of the 5-5s, but for very different reasons, right? One team has gone 3-0 up in the last 3. The other team has gone 0-3.
Correct. They have gone 3-0 up in the last 3 because if you're 3-0, you can't have played a fourth game, Pyra.
That's how that works.
That is exactly how that works. Good mathematics. Yeah, but you're exactly right. Between them, that would be 3-3 if they were the one team. But last 3 games have kind of sucked for Order, and they've been real good for Mammoth. This is a team that bounced back in a spectacular way. They were able to take down the Chiefs when the Chiefs played Frostmancy. They were able to continue that streak, and I think that they're just overall dangerous, right? They look like their comps are finally clicking, that the players are playing with a little bit more freedom. They said they were playing not to lose as opposed to winning.
Yeah, now they're playing actually to win it out, and look what's happening. They're actually starting to win these games. The question that I have is how can they build that consistency? And I feel like against Order, that's a great test.
Yeah, certainly is, because I think the same question should probably be asked for Order. In fact, I would say Order have more of that question asked because they just lost the game to Legacy.
Some consistency.
Yeah, they need to establish some consistency as well. And no one will question if these two teams rocked up on their best day. Could they take a 5-game series against anyone in the OPL? They have such good skill ceiling. Spooks and Swiffer have won 4 OPL titles between them. Tally has been in, I think, 5 finals. When you have a look at the other side, you have the likes of people like Babip and Triple and King and Destiny, who were all in the finals last year, Pyra. They're all massive names. It's just about, can they put it together? Can they gel? What is going on with these teams? I don't know.
Oh, we'll find out.
But I walked past Mammoth. They seem real happy. They seem real chill. Babip got a haircut. He didn't go to the place that I sent him, so already I want him to lose this game. But he did get a haircut,
the reason. Yeah,
and it looks fly. That is genuinely the reason that I want Babip to lose.
Well, keep that in mind.
Because he messaged me, and he said, Jake, where do I go to get a haircut in Melbourne? And I told him 3 different places, and he said, they'll all close. And I said,
oh, that's not
bullshit.
His fault.
There is no way all 3 places were closed simultaneously when you wanted to get a haircut, and you stumbled upon Magic Haircut Kingdom that wasn't closed at the same time that the other 3 hairdressers was closed.
Is that
It's
one like
outrageous.
middling haircut place?
Yeah.
Okay.
I was very disappointed. I hope he went to like a grocery store hairdresser and got a $10 cut and it looks awful.
This is Jake, definitely not vindictive Spawn Tiberi. Okay, so we're in picks and bans
Actually,
now.
Looks pretty good.
Between our fight. Yeah,
Damn it.
There you go.
Sorry, you want to talk about picks and bans?
Good,
yep.
Jason Yasuo banned away, as well as the Alistar by order. And then on the opposite side, it's all about that bot lane, because you got Thresh Morgana taken away from Jake.
Yeah, that's really interesting. The fact that Jake's copying 2 bans at the moment and the Alistar gone as well means that Braum's up and available, maybe as a S-tier support. But if you leave Gelly up and available, Swiffer will pick it up. And once again, Order maybe going back to playing some Deathball.
A little bit of comfort, and I think maybe that's what they need after a couple of losses stacked up. Kind of go back to some basics, keep it simple.
Now it's interesting, right? Because Camille's being gutted. Like, she can't stun creeps yet, and she was the best Scuttle Crab taker in the game, and now she's the worst Scuttle Crab taker in the game, right? So probably can't, and that's a counter pick on top of it. So you probably can't take Camille with it. Maybe Jarvan, who's seen a little bit of comeback. I think that Cloud9 played it with Nocturne.
I mean, it's a decent combo. It's possible. Speaking, Nocturne is still up and available.
Yep.
But I am a little worried about the Triple Zoe, because Triple is, in my opinion, in a team full of like hype names, kind of the hypest.
Yeah.
As of this split as well. Like, his numbers certainly haven't been bad whatsoever. And they're going to pair this up with a Kai'Sa as well. So that's already a lot of damage coming out of the Mammoth first 2 picks.
Certainly is, and a very similar comp that we saw from the Wolfpack last game. And, funnily enough, Triple and King, 2 members of the former Wolfpack. So
how about that?
Seeing some symmetries in the current patch interested to see what order go towards. I would expect them, if history dictates, to go probably 80 carry support here. That's what they've generally done throughout their pick ban phases. That's a LeBlanc.
Ooh. Okay, so we might have that Galio top then. In fact, I think we will.
Maybe?
Or maybe jungle?
I think
don't
blind
know.
pick Galio top sounds crap. Was played a little bit support in the LCK, I think.
Oh, that's an option too. Support pick. I mean, with 2 supports already banned, I like that Order's giving themselves an option to do some flexing.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's what Blue Side's all about, right? You have to be able to command a flex because otherwise you can't get any counter picks.
Yes.
Because in the typical fashion, what would happen is Mammoth would take a solo lane, pick 3, and then they would double ban that lane, so then you get rid of all the counters there, and then you take a solo lane, pick 5, and then you get the other counter pick.
Yeah, a lot of communication going there on the Order side. Looks like we'll get a little bit more bottom lane picked up. Order for Dream grab themselves a Tristana, and there's a Braum on Destiny's side, so Mammoth still get a comfortable choice for their support despite banning out a couple.
Okay, so Mammoth are looking for a jungler and a top laner. Order are looking for definitely a jungler, I will say, and potentially a support or a top laner.
Oh, Jarvan's off. You know, Nocturne is still in, by the way, still up.
Yeah,
let's see if he gets banned away in this draft.
Because I think that it fits one comp way better than the other. Nocturne Galio sounds way better, and Nocturne LeBlanc is also way better than Zoe LeBlanc. And,
oh, it's dirty.
Nocturne Zoe or even Nocturne Braum. I think that the Mammoth lineup kind of wants to throw poke and wants to establish vision before they fight, but Order disagree, they just get rid of it.
Do ban it away, so no Nocturne this time around. I was kind of surprised it made it as far as it did. Back over to Mammoth.
Boring matchup. Do you reckon we get like Sejuani versus Zac?
Go back to the tanks?
Yeah.
I don't know, man. Like, do you think Spooks could get his, like, Elise on again or something?
Yeah, maybe. He is a pretty good Elise player. He likes running around on the Spider Lady. I personally am arachnophobe, as Bryce witnessed when he came over to have steak. Yeah, but you're scared of crap spiders.
No, hold on a second. I got a redback in my room 2 weeks ago.
I've
got PTSD,
a whitetail on my barbecue.
That's still pretty terrifying.
I did what any self-respecting Australian would do, and I turned my barbecue on and I closed the lid.
So was it tasty?
I didn't eat it.
But see, you expect spiders outdoors. You don't expect them in your room.
That's true. Zac got banned away, by the way, so we're not going to get the Zac.
No, we might still get a Sejuani. We'll see.
Oh,
Olaf banned away. Okay.
Kindred? What other junglers are available?
Yeah, I mean, Kindred's an option for sure.
Kindred, Sejuani, as you pointed out. Graves. Kha'Zix? Kha'Zix is good.
Yeah, I think Kha'Zix could make an appearance for sure. Well, let's see if Mammoth wants to pick one up on
Maybe
this
Babbitt
rotation.
goes Kha'Zix here?
What else has Babbitt played so far? Now, there's the Lee Sin. A few seconds, locks it in.
All right, so very interesting. Going with the Lee Sin. Certainly the S-tier pick left available, but once again, actually, no, I take it back. I like Lee Sin Braum. I really think that if they ever find you in the jungle, they just kill you, and they also have really good chain CC potential. So I'll take back what I was going to say. That is actually a pretty good, you know, Babbitt Destiny playing together.
It's still a very, once again, similar comp to what we saw out of the Direwolves last time around. And now Order will lock in the Urgot. So things are still kind of up in the air.
Yeah, it certainly is.
Urgot's
I think that's going to be a top lane Urgot. Should be a top lane Urgot. Last time these two teams played, Order actually baited Topoon into playing the Urgot, which he was very uncomfortable on, until he took the Scion, which he's very comfortable on. And they're able to pick up the victory. Just jogging my memory there. Spooks looks like he doesn't know what he wants to pick.
Skarner! All right, I didn't expect that one. So that is support Galio? Question mark?
Yeah, support Galio, jungle Skarner, top lane Urgot.
Okay. Well, I thought Spooks might be playing a bug, but I expected the Kha'Zix or the Elise. I wasn't expecting the Scorpion. Different choice there for the Order lineup. So they've definitely had a couple of drafts with a few exotic picks. But talk to me about what we expect the Skarner to do.
Farm really quickly. As far as tank junglers go, Skarner's the quickest farming tank jungler kind of on the patch. And I think that also has really good lockdown CC. When you have a look at Mammoth's lineup, if you get King or Triple ever, and both of them at points have to fly into the team, right? Triple's going to have to bounce forward on one of her Qs, on one of her Rs. King's going to have to fly in with that ultimate. If you grab either of them and shut them down, there is really not enough damage to get through the Urgot, Skarner, Galio, all going to be running tank in this composition. Whereas you got two pretty good carries that are very safe on the side of Order. And really, Babbitt's job is to do the exact same thing, go get them, and see whether he can make that work. But I don't hate Order's comp. I think that, you know, they've got good engage tools. They've got very good zone control if they get somewhere first. I just think that as far as standard comps go, if you're a traditional League of Legends fan, you have to really like what Mammoth's been able to put together because it's just strong champions with a beefy front line.
Yeah, but as you pointed out, one of the weaknesses potentially is that King and Triple's carries might have to step in front of that front line. And we'll see if Order can be there to catch them. Now, joining us from Order is, of course, Coach Choo Choo's. How's it going?
Hello. It's going really good.
Excellent.
Happy with how that turned out.
Yeah, so good draft. Let's talk, though, about the mood in the team. You guys have obviously had a rough go the last few games. How is the team feeling coming into today?
Yeah, it's definitely been a rough 2 weeks. We're 1-3 over the last 2 weeks, and coming into this week, we're versing Bombers and Mammoth, which with Mammoth coming back into form, has definitely put a lot of pressure on like the players this week to create an effective environment so that we can come in form. But I think we've definitely had some good conversation and realigned our perspective on how we want to play the game. And I'm very happy with how the draft turns out today. So hopefully we can prove that.
And now, to a lot of OPL fans, Order generally play very standard, very, just sledgehammery kind of League of Legends. You're now running Skarner as well as a Galio support. What's going on? Where's the standard sledgehammer going?
Yeah, so it still is pretty standard, but yeah, like we're just like Simon's been known to be the Galio player of the team. We thought that seeing LCK playing it a fair bit in support, it offers the same thing, but just in your mid trio, just because your mid lane is usually on the side lane, so you can't have that big impact with Galio ultimate as you would like on a support. But we're definitely going back to our roots with like our standard play, pulling away from the Nami Caitlyn, which was, I guess, a test run. But I think everyone's quite on board and happy with the way we're playing.
Okay, so it did seem that, yeah, you called to a little bit of like a non-standard pickup in the previous weeks. You guys had kind of drafted a little bit differently, and that was an experiment. Do you feel like that set you behind because it was less comfortable, or was there something else going on there?
Probably a bit of both. We found that like we were uncovering certain, like we were defining our own meta, and that created a lot of benefits. Otherwise, we wouldn't have played it on stage. Like we would only be playing something on stage that it's been like producing results. But when it did come to actually performing on stage, we found that like we do need to take into account a lot of other elements, such as like Dream is 18 years old, hasn't played a lot on stage, and there's a lot of pressure on him to perform in the Caitlyn draft. And we've definitely needed to consider all of those other aspects when we come into game day.
All right, now talk to me about Dream, because I did want to hit that as, kind of my final question. This is a guy that played a split of OPL, then a split of OCS, kind of had a rough couple of weeks. What's the team doing? What's the mood from Swiffer, Spooks, Jake, kind of the leadership roster, trying to pick this young guy up?
He's definitely like developed a fair bit. It was quite impressive how much he already knew coming in and working with him in the early weeks, but he has a great mindset, a very good attitude towards improving. And he's actually been like such a pleasure to work with, and I think there's more to come.
Looking forward to seeing more from him, and thank you for joining us, Choo Choos. Best of luck to the team.
No worries, thank you.
All right, standard start today as expected. A little bit of trades back and forth for Scuttle and the fight for Vision in the river. But apart from that, it's just been love taps either side, especially here in this mid lane between Swiffer and Triple.
Yeah, it certainly has. So let's kind of work our way down the roster. I think that Braum should beat Galio as support, but Tristana certainly has a very good lane into Kai'Sa. She actually dictates the push and even has better trade patterns. Satchel plus auto attack is going to be able to outtrade anything King can do because he's most likely going Blade of the Ruin King build. So I like the bottom lane here for Order. At the same time, I was going to mention this lane. It really has been shown that Urgot does not do well at the moment into Sion. I think this is one of the last remaining counter picks. If you have jungle ganks, then you can still look for the flash flip and try and get Sion early. But, I mean, really, it's so hard to do something like that with a Skarner. Does no damage, offers nothing before he has his ultimate. So, interested to see how Order kind of play around weak side Tally this game, because their bottom side of the map, double counter pick in those two lanes, but Tally kind of being left in the island as Order's, I would say, best performing player in the last couple of weeks, to be honest.
I think that's a good measure of how a team can play with regards to a weak side, one that they've chosen. We'll see if Tally is able to really hold that line. I mean, he's not really losing out in farm here, but he is going to have to back, possibly spend that teleport. And Tapoon's going to be able to kind of have a free lane for a little bit. On the flip side, you can see Spooks coming in for a lane gank, possibly, but it's already a very pushed lane with the Tristana.
Yeah, it certainly is. In saying that, Tristana has great burst damage as far as an AD carry goes, right? So if they were ever able to step up, maybe Dream's calling that he's gankable right now, and they think maybe Babip's down there, something like that. You know, lots of reasons that you would call for a gank in that position. And also the fact that really, as a Skarner right now, he has free time. He's only got himself a Raptor camp up and available, probably waiting for some more camps to spawn, so he can just play a little bit of protection, a little bit of goalie. As we mentioned, Dream is the young player on Order and kind of would like to see the guys try and get him through this early game to a situation where he can carry.
He's certainly being set up for success right now. Yeah, Tapoon really getting all the farm he needed. And he's been having a great start to this game as well, the Mammoth top laner.
Talking about rookies that have come a long way, Tapoon's like real. Oh, actually, hold on.
We'll talk about him in a minute because Triple is going to get chained on, stopped up. Here comes Spooks. Doesn't have his ultimate, but do they have enough damage to finish off the Zoe? Babip tabs his way in. Paddlestar not going to connect on anybody but a minion. But that does get Triple out of harm's way.
Yeah, really nice gank coming in there. Meanwhile, top lane.
Ooh, Flash. Bold move. He flashes forward here, but does he have enough damage to actually finish off Tapoon? No.
How long until the ultimate comes in? Is only halfway through the experience bar. You
Babip's
can see Babip going top. That puts a lane in a really tough spot for Tally because you can see it is pushing out.
No summoners either for the Urgot. Tapoon's still holding on to his flash. And yeah, let's talk a little bit about Tapoon and how far he's come with the Mammoth lineup.
And that's what I was going to say. Last week, he had a really breakout performance on this Ion pick. That's why I was surprised that Order gave it to him. Now with the ultimate available as well, he can take a tempo reset, as we like to call it, and he's going to ulti himself back to lane most likely. So really nicely done for the rookie. And I just think that the young members of the OPL overall have really surprised me. I think the Dreams having, you know, a really good start to the split, had some rough games as is Tapoon. I think, you know, that's the hallmark of a young player. They're not going to be consistent straight away, but they really are showing that the talent, grassroots-wise, is there.
It's always good to see. Still pretty even start to the game. As expected, Sion comes back up to the top, and the question I want to ask is, why do the junglers seem to be playing more towards the side that their lanes are pushing? I would always think that they want to try to push a lane that's kind of getting pushed against them. Or gank a lane, rather.
Yeah, potentially. So, I mean, there's kind of two things here. Is that Spooks is thinking that if I ever get to a gank first, and I use my skills, abilities, flashes, things like that, that if Lee Sin ever is second, he's going to find me, he's going to kill me. Like, I just die. Lee Sin does significantly more damage than what Skarner can withstand at this stage of the game. On the flip side right now, Babip's thinking, you know, I don't really have a good avenue to gank because Dream and Jake are very safe as a duo. You know, you've got the Taunt, you've got Justice Punch to keep yourself safe, as well as double summoner spells available, and no real CC to get that gank started. Top lane has been a little bit more volatile, but you don't want to give away something on the opposite side of the map if you go towards it. Now that Tally doesn't have the flash, maybe it's a little bit more appetizing. But you can see as soon as it happens, they just, you know, start up a dragon, and this is why you generally don't get in top at the moment. So it's kind of just a back and forward tug of war affair, playing around who has the push in multiple lanes and making sure that you don't make that first big mistake.
Order definitely playing it out well, though. Managed to secure themselves up a Cloud Dragon and continue to really keep vision and wave control on that bottom side.
Yeah, I want to stress how quickly Skarner farms for a tank. Because I'm not saying he farms quicker than, you know, Olaf or anything like that, but if he has control of his spires, he really does just mow through the jungle. And the fact that he's able to keep up with double longsword Lee Sin kind of highlights that point, right? Yeah. So level 6 now before second round of buffs coming up. Still has the blue buff to about to spawn, but this is a really nice invade. I like this.
Yeah. Spooks really does literally mow through his jungle camps. I mean, you look at the buzzsaws on the Skarner arms. Now, that was just a check on the blue. Spooks kind of wiggled his way out. He's not going to go for it. You think Swiffer will be able to pick this one up, but Babip is hanging around mid lane here, so this could be a little dangerous if Swiffer stuck around.
Yeah, and they've got a really nice ward. Actually, they go in.
Swiffer does get tagged. Sonic Wave. Don't think there'll be a follow-through from Babip there. Blue buff will transfer over.
Yeah, and the reason that Babip didn't follow up is if he had been kicked down, then Sleepy Trouble bubble through the wall. Lots of damage to follow up, probably clean up the kill there. However, if he had followed into that portion of the jungle, there's just no chance. Like, Spooks is going to flash over the wall. He's just going to grab Babip, you know, chains are going to be everywhere, and there's always not going to be able to catch up in time. So I really respect the discipline out of Babip there. He's one of my favorite junglers to actually watch play Lee Sin, because he does have a very good grasp of when I should be trying to go in for this kill and when I shouldn't. Topoon's got himself a 20 CS lead, by the way.
Yeah, he's stacking it up right now. Really bullying out Tally. Still holding on to a Ignite there, so in an all-in situation, there is that potential edge. But I did want to talk about like Babip holistically as well, because last game we talked about, you know, who is potentially the best jungler in the OPL. Before the split started, Babip was a name that was on a lot of people's lips as potentially the best. And where do you think he's really at the moment?
Well, with Shanfire retiring, right, like he certainly was a favorite to become the best, right? He was the other jungler in the OPL final, had come leaps and bounds as the chief starting jungler, moves over to Mammoth to the super team. I think people did realize that, you know, he's only played 1 year, and he played that year with a big veteran lineup. Not saying this lineup isn't veteran, but, you know, Topoon, much younger player coming in, so doesn't have the same, you know, top side of the map to play towards in someone like Swiper. And King and Destiny, not really a lane kingdom lane, as Destiny and Raze were towards the latter stages of last year. So I just think that, you know, it's been a change-up. This year, I'd say he's probably, you know, 4th in terms of my jungle ranking. I would have put Spooks above him. As Topoon looking for a solo kill here.
Yeah, that's a lot of damage from the Scion coming through. And Tally, he has Flash. He might have to burn it here. Topoon's sticking on to him right now like glue. Tally, he's just tanking through it. That's going to be a solo first blood.
Really nicely played from Topoon, and this is what I said. They really gave Tally a rough matchup in my eyes. Had the Ignite available, as you mentioned, had the Flash available, decided not to burn them both, and he's going to lose a complete minion wave here. This is going to be 20 CS and a solo kill up for the newest member of the Mammoth lineup.
Man, Scion's starting to run rampant up here, and Tally won't even have a teleport available to himself just yet. There's going to be that first tower plating knocked down. Order going to try and reassert a little bit of map control up here on the top side, but this is a question. How can Order continue to play around this? Because they're going to start losing out a little more pressure. It's nearly 1,000 gold lead. That's the most significant thing we've had so far in favor of Mammoth.
And all of it would be Topoon. Like you can see right now when you have a look at it, like little gold advantages elsewhere. Jake is up in gold. Probably because he's had access to every creep wave, whereas Destiny's been pushed in. But Topoon is the person that's carrying all of the gold lead, and right now you can see that Babip top side of the map.
He's going to face check, walks right into him, so Babip still holding on to his Sonic Wave, gets the hop and the kickback. Topoon tagging his way forward. Tally kind of just trying to crab walk it out. Does hold his Flash again, though.
That's very lucky for Tally. Like, I think that could have gone all kinds of awful there for Order fans. You could see that they had just got vision on the top side of the map, but the pit in Baron didn't go over the wall for whatever reason. As a triple takes a little bit of damage.
Triple does get forced out. That's good news for Swiffer.
And what I was going to say is that's the second kick that has actually failed for Babip, which is just, you know, really rough, given the fact that, you know, Lee Sin wants to have a much bigger early game impact.
True that. Here we go. Topoon was baiting out in that brush, but everybody else collapsing on him. So now he's going to get pulled back in, and there's a 3-man squad right in between him. Topoon will go Golden Flash away. Chains on once again. It's a futile effort to try and escape. Even with the ultimate, Spooks does pick up a kill, and this opens up the Rift Herald for Order.
And you can see that Order right now, very objective focus. They even rotate their bottom lane into the play, leave bottom lane turret a little bit longer to be able to secure that priority over the Rift Herald. They still keep 3 members up here. Really like the play coming out, but it does look like the 2-man re-engage is going to come across. Sleepy Trouble Bubble lands, and Tally isn't there.
Go on to the Skarner. Babip's going to follow it all the way through, and even though he's got a stopwatch on Smites for the health, and it's a turnaround from Mammoth. Tally's going to pick up a kill here, and there is carnage in this river as Triple trying to get the damage out onto the Urgot. Topoon teleporting his way in. The Rift Herald is still aggroed in this one, and Triple nearly goes down, but Tally will fall first.
And that is
1-for-2 trade.
Such a good counterattack coming out of Mammoth. They really read the situation. As soon as Jake and Dream go back bottom lane, there is no way that Order should be able to stay there. They have the teleport. They burn the needed summoner spells. They stop the Rift Herald going down, and they pick up the extra kill.
Man, that was just all kinds of interesting here as Tally flashed his way forward to try and get the play. Yes, Babip falls, but Mammoth really picking it up off the back half.
Yeah, and I mean, actually, it's just a 2-for-2 trade overall, so I got a little bit excited. Not as good for Mammoth as I thought, as Topoon had fell before all of this. But I really think if, you know, the ultimate goal was Rift Herald, that Jake or Dream should have stayed. Like, just commit to the play. You know, you're going to give up an additional turret plate, most likely. I don't think King and Destiny are going to be able to take the turret solo. And now plating has fallen without Rift Herald going down means that all of that gold is off the map.
A little unfortunate as Order tried to grab a little bit more of a bite, couldn't quite do it. Some lost damage on the tower bottom for Order as well. That's kind of the net effect of it all as we get into this 14th minute of play. It's still a gold lead for Mammoth, but only about 1,000 and some change. Pretty much off the kill difference and that farm differential up top that we pointed to a while ago. One in the mid as well. Haven't talked about the CS differences between Triple and Swiffer, but there has been one. As items are starting to come through, Swiffer has completed his Luden's Echo.
You can see an additional stopwatch picked up for Triple, so really respecting the LeBlanc matchup as well. Summoner Spell's not available for the mid 2v2. However, Triple still has his flash, so you would expect if there was a small scuffle to break out, with the stopwatch, with the flash, you would have to really favor it to go Mammoth's favor right now. At the same time, I think that the fact that Skarner has forced King to pick up a QSS before he even has boots too is kind of a big deal.
Yeah, I mean, that's one of the scary things. You get that big old suppression ultimate in there, and suddenly you start kind of forcing the carries to pick up some items they'd rather not early on. Now, Rift Herald, 3 members. Jake is going to be waiting in the wings as well. Top Hoon trying to interrupt this, and it's been a big fight over it. Here we go. The Trouble Bubble does land. They can't get the smite, but they can't get the secure. Mammoth didn't pull the trigger.
Swiffer's in trouble, though. Has no
flash.
flash.
Out of this one. He's going to get jumped on by King, chasing him down, forces the clone out. Not enough for the kill. Oh, and the bubble lands on the wrong LeBlanc.
So it looks like they will be able to pick up the Rift Herald. Sleepy Trouble Bubble lands again, but this time it's onto Jake, and they do just flip the map. Expect Tarly to go bottom lane now. Air Drake is just such a useless dragon. Like, you can see that
Tell
was
me how
why
you really feel.
Both of the teams really wanted to play for the Herald, or to do end up getting it. And the fact that they've left Topoon up here, does have ultimate, but might just be able to go down here.
Let's see. Oh, yep. Really nowhere to go once he gets chained back in. He does ult on, but there is so much CC out of this Order lineup. Can he limp away with a shield? Dream? No, he just did a 180. Hopped in, noped right out. Topoon makes it out alive. Rift Herald will get popped on the top side, but Order got stymied on that push.
Yeah, they certainly did. You could see exactly what they wanted. They wanted to flip. Oh! Where did that come from?
That was Swiffer.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah, he cleaned up. Rift Herald will get stopped.
So they saved the play.
They do save the play, but it required Swiffer to really wrap around there. I want to see that in a replay from the downside.
Yeah, and it looks like Order, like they're 2,000 gold down right now, and they're sacrificing so much to get 5 members to the play. You can see that the concerted effort from Order has been, if everyone isn't there, then the play is called off, right? They went for 1 Rift Herald where they didn't follow that rule, and it really went sideways.
Yeah, I think they're playing with a little bit of fear based on that. Like, Mammoth have been able to disrupt so many plays that aren't 5-mans.
No, because I think that they did it before Mammoth were able to disrupt those plays, right? I think this is just a focus going into the week that early last week we saw Order play Avant, and I was really impressed by the way that Avant had every single member involved in that play. They were playing Karthus mid lane. Meanwhile, Dream getting forced off this turret.
Yeah. The race for first brick is still on, by the way. King and Destiny going to be pushing here with a rapidly shrinking minion wave. Meanwhile, Tally on the bottom had already backed away. And towers on either side, battered and bruised, but none have fallen just yet.
Yep, exactly right. But you can see that priority or first push or, you know, the ability to push into turret is certainly much more apparent right now for the bottom/top lane of Mammoth. Whereas Topoon really doing the good job of the tank and just rotating around the map very early, trying to get to as many plays as possible.
Order have a lot of defensive vision placed around this map right now, especially in their own jungle entrance topside. Meanwhile, Swiffer going in onto Triple once again. He does walk it out, uses a Spell Thief's Cleanse, and Swiffer's just kind of styling a little bit himself. He may not be getting single kills all over the place, but after that first one he picked up on Topoon, he feels like he can definitely go in.
Yes,
Bubble does land, but he gets out.
And I was going to say that it's kind of a war going on right now between Swiffer's mana bar and Triple's health bar. Because Triple just keeps copping all these abilities, but he's healthy enough with that Corrupting Potion, with the Dark Seal, that it's not really doing anything. And Swiffer's just running out of mana. So Swiffer's not really able to get any form of CS lead off any of these combos. Needs a blue buff, as you mentioned. Would certainly be helpful.
He had one earlier on, but hasn't come back up just yet. But check back in with the bottom lane. You can see it's just going to be the endless battle between Topoon and Tally. Once again, Tally has stabilized from his laning phase, though.
Yeah, that kill around the Rift Herald really helped Tally out because I believe it was a smaller shutdown, you know, one of those 300 or 450 shutdowns that come across, and has been able to keep him in that game. Now he has some armor shred, and you can see that Topoon right now relying very much on the W passive to get Zion that additional health. Of course, every time he kills a minion, going to get himself some health. That means he can build primary resistance, but until he has a lot of CS, that kind of can bite you in the... What?
Oh, Swiffer! He just tries to sweep up Babip here, and it looks like Mammoth are going to try and force the fight out onto Spooks. He pulls the Braum back in, but Babip takes him down.
And now Jake in trouble as well.
Sleepy Trouble Bubble gets the stun off, but I don't know if it's going to be enough. Swiffer hops in, hops out. Mammoth flexing here, and they will be able to clean up much of the jungle vision after that fight goes their way, right near the Baron pit.
Yeah, and you can see right now, Race is kind of on for first turret. Mammoth do the right thing. They cut a lot of the vision line by walking their tank through it. That means King going to get a lot of solo time with that top lane turret, and Dream.
He stepped very far forward. He copped himself a paddle star, back of his head. There's a lot of poke damage, a lot of burst damage from both these mid laners.
Yeah, so really nicely done from Mammoth there. That was a great reaction replay, and the fact that Topoon had teleport to get there first also dictated kind of the tone of it. Didn't really have to do all that much apart from play goalkeeper afterwards, but it did mean that 2 kills went across, and now first turret, first real meaningful gold lead, 3,000 right now for the Mammoth lineup.
Yep, that'll extend their gold lead by a little bit more here, so yeah, we're about the 3,000 point order, massing in the mid lane to try and get a tower of their own. As they did already have one thanks to Tally, finished it off in the bottom side as well, and feel like the next big objective to play for, depending on what this dragon is, will probably be the Baron.
Yeah, potentially, and I think that right now, you know, Order has 2 turrets that are so low in health, and this has kind of been the crux of the game. They got a lot of damage on mid lane turret. They got a Rift Herald charge, top lane turret. They had a winning 80 carry matchup as Tristana, which means you take a lot of the turret damage on the bottom lane turret, but they weren't able to crack any of them Pyro. So that meant that, you know, all the gold was just static on the map. Meanwhile, Mammoth won the last 2 team fights, I think. They got first brick, and now they're sitting in a commanding position.
That they are. And you just look at who's got the kills already too, right? Like, yes, okay, Topoon's got a couple himself, but Triple, despite the fact that he's been in, his health bar has been in an ongoing war with the mana bar of Swiffer, as you pointed out, he's a pretty scary threat as well, and he's chunking out the carries. So, you know, we talked about it way back in the draft.
Bubbles.
It does land. It's going to be Jake going down, going low. Babip wanted to get in for the kickback, but he got jebaited. And they are going to get the knockback, but it looks like it's going to be Spooks that gets himself caught out in the middle of it. That's going to be Mammoth with the numbers advantage to push on this mid tower.
And another Sleepy Trouble Bubble lands, and time again, Topoon just showing his worth. The rookie of the lineup is just a monster right now.
He is a big, beefy frontline that Mammoth can rely on for these team fights, but it is all set up by these bubbles out of Triple. He's been nailing them. Oh, hello. Swiffer goes in, gets the execute onto Babip. Well, goodbye, Baron Dreams.
Okay.
Man, he really chases. He flash distorted that.
Yep, certainly did. So burns a summoner spell, gets his man. Obviously, Babip, Swiffer is annoyed at Babip about the haircut thing, as I was going to say.
I was going to say, man, Swiffer ate his Weet-Bix this morning. He is running for these kills.
Yeah, he certainly seems pretty motivated, hey, but right now you can see Triple is still 20 CS up over him at 203, so
maybe that's why
he's having
mad.
An absolute fine time of it as well. These 2 mid laners, certainly 2 of the more story mid laners in the OPL. Are they the only? No, Fantix won an OPL title. I was going to say, are they the only mid laners that won a title? No, Richard Sue also won one. But of the current mid laners, they're the only 2 mid laners in the OPL.
Current operating mid laners. Let's go with that
title.
One. So they definitely are well acquainted with each other as well. Think of maybe a little healthy rivalry going on there.
Yeah, that's what I was saying, you know, potentially a lot of desire to beat each other today. And I just think, you know, a lot's riding on this game. We've kind of talked about what the current state of the game is, but the overall story of these 2 teams is that it started great for Order after, you know, a bad first week, and now it's slowly turned to kind of crap. And at the same time, Mammoth had a really rough mid couple of weeks, and now they're trying to get back into it as well. So
yeah, must win in different ways.
Yeah, I think that right now, Mammoth trying to cement themselves up there with Chiefs and, you know, potentially, no, I was going to say Chiefs, Bombers, and potentially Avant, whilst Order trying to reclaim, you know, top 4, top 5 status, because right now it's looking pretty ordinary.
Yeah, unless we forget, like, this is the battle of the 5-5s, but we've also got Gravitas in the conversation as well. So it's a very competitive split. There are really very few teams that you aren't concerned about right now if you're either of these two.
Well, I mean, Order should have no one they're not concerned about because they lost to Legacy last week. So.
Very true. And that's also, you know, your hashtag worrying trend, right?
Yep, absolutely.
That being said, that was also kind of like a Yasuo runaway, and, you know, not discounting Legacy at all. They executed well. But I think it goes to show that Order, in some ways, needed to go back to some basics, and Spooks will grab Destiny here, and let's see if they can win the ensuing fight. This time, Mammoth were ready for round number 2, but do they have the damage following through? Babbitt limping back and away. There's the hero's entrance, and one more auto attack. Triple is able to take down Jake. Do they have the follow-through? Triple limping away with that explosive charge on his back. It ends up being a 1-for-1, both supports down.
But just no one can kill Topoon. Topoon is so damn beefy, and you can see they want the dive still.
They just want to go behind Topoon at this point. Swiffer going in for that kill, and Topoon is a big old beefy boy. Can he hold the line against Swiffer? Chops him down to size. It was Babip that claimed the kill, and Order have not been able to break this tower.
And once again, the respect that Babip shows does not take the Lee Syndrome cue, but Order lose the team fight again. Mid lane turret survives on 2 auto attacks. Someone just needs to hit the damn turret during the fight.
These are so close. And you can see that Mammoth and everybody, they've just been taking their frustration out on these poor Cloud Dragons that keep spawning.
Whew. Absolutely the case. Destiny about to meet 2 members of Order in the top side of the map. You can see that Zoe in his back pocket as well to keep him healthy. And that was so close, Pyra. Cannot stress, you know, Topoon frontlining like an absolute god. He's just unmovable.
Yeah, and you just look at his items, you look at now he's on like level 14. He's going to have such a great time just getting in people's faces. Gargoyle Stoneplate completed along with the likes of the Frozen Heart. It's going to be hard for anybody to wear through that health bar.
Yeah, it certainly is. And Destiny now kind of solo in River. Let's take another look at this. They flash forward, they go on to Destiny. You can see right here, split calls, because then Triple becomes under fire, but Destiny just lives for so long, and then not able to get any damage onto Triple, even though he was at the front of the team fight. I said they must kill one of the carries. Well, they didn't do it. That means 2 carries healthy in this fight. Triple pops forward. Looks like once again he's going to fall down. Survives through the satchel charge as well. And Order here, I think, should just be content with taking the turret. But instead, you can see the call is let's continue to fight. Swiffer pops over the wall, misses skills. Topoon still just frontlining, only now just forced to burn the flash. They stack up. Swiffer sees red, falls down, and the turret still lives somehow.
Yeah, just barely. The focus was really on trying to get that dive out here. It's been playing for the kills on the Order side. It's definitely bit them in the behind once or twice. Mammoth holding on to the control over the Baron Pit. A lot of red side vision there. There's a ward they're standing on that they're not aware of, though, and that's going to be the saving grace for Order. Next, Theater of War should absolutely be inside this Baron Pit. You got to be careful tanking shots from Swiffer. He might have missed that last fight, but he hits him, and it's going to sting, as Babbitt just finds out.
More interested in Dream's item build right now. He goes with the second Zeal item as opposed to even the makings of a beginning Last Whisper.
That's interesting.
You feel like he must get a Mortal Reminder, not Mortal Reminder, Lord Dominic's Regard is his next item.
It's starting to feel like an old school AD carry build, like he built the Infinity Edge first and everything.
Yeah, I mean, that's exactly what you should be doing on the current crit AD carries, like, so that part of it I agree, but I think you also have to acknowledge the fact that at the moment, you're just hitting Topoon. Yeah. So unless Tally puts a harpoon into him and you blow absolutely everything, he ain't going down in a hurry.
And that's the other thing. Spooks hasn't really been able to find anybody other than the likes of Destiny. Baron has been started, though. This is in the dark. Mammoth going to get sniffed out thanks to that Scryer's orb at the moment. Let's see if Mammoth can turn the fight around. They're going to take Topoon down to about half his health bar, but he's still beefy. Can he be beefy enough? That's a good Braum knockup, and Tally will claim the first kill of the fight. On to Topoon, into the front is Tally as well. He's going to fall. Topoon is going to kill Spooks from the grave, even when he's dead. The man is a monster.
I just cannot believe how much work this Scion is doing in this game, Pyra. He's absolutely monstrous.
Man, I mean, he attack, but most importantly, Spawn, he come back for about 5 or 6 seconds.
That's certainly true, and I like the meme this time around. We'll pass it.
Cool. Hey, that's high praise coming from you. I will take that one. Mid tower still stands at 28 minutes for Mammoth. a testament to their ability to hold the line. And here is the Baron fight again.
Well, it looks so good, right? Because he's already popped Stone Plate. He knows he's about to come under fire. And then Order get the execution. They throw everything at him as we said they would. They flash forward. They get a massive fear. But the knock-up lands onto no one. And now Topoon, they just forgot that he comes back. And he just, like, 100-0 Spooks. He just wails on him. Yeah. I wish I was watching the Twitter POV stream right now for Spooks.
That's probably a pretty good one at the moment.
Because he just would have looked confused and outraged.
Got killed by a dead guy. Have you noticed that every fight, the focus has been on these junglers because, especially in the last 5 or 6 minutes, whoever wins the fight, without the jungler dying, gets Baron. And both teams have made sure that this doesn't happen. Like, Babbitt nearly caught it in that fight as well. He gets down to like 100 HP and then just sits around the back and just pulls out a lawn chair and it's like, all right, I'm going to watch this from here.
Yeah, absolutely. You do not want to be the jungler that goes down, gives your team the disadvantage of having to go against a Baron because they're pretty similar team comps. We've been saying this all game long, that both of these teams want to achieve the first thing. Get to an area first, start up a big team fight, win through, you know, your superior comp. Once again, they start up the Baron.
3 members.
Order not in position, and this time have not yet caught it.
They have to know what's happening. The pings will go down, but this is going to be too late right now. Mammoth are going to be able to mount through this. Now all they got to do is turn the fight around. Baron secured, and instead, Order opt to just finish off that tower, you know, blow it out like a birthday candle. And Mammoth, you know, they had the tempo. They used it. 30 minutes, first Baron.
Yeah, really nicely done from Mammoth. I like their persistence on maintaining their vision control. Order felt relatively comfortable with the fact that they had the Scuttle Crab, but really didn't give them anything there because I think it was a blast cone over the back of it that allowed Mammoth to get in. So now they have to withstand that Baron buff that we were talking about. That means one team fight could ultimately decide this game right now. If Mammoth win it decisively enough, they should just be able to run in.
And that's the thing. Mammoth have won, maybe not decisively every fight, but they have been getting a little bit better of Order 9 times out of 10 this game. And that's what's contributed to this overall lead. It's a 5,000-plus game, gold game, along with the Baron buff. I mean, I feel like if Dragon RNG goes differently, this game kind of starts to feel more lopsided.
Yeah, absolutely. Agree with that because Order kind of swapped away from the first Dragons as well. Probably could have taken second Air Dragon, but instead they wanted to go towards Rift Herald, which was on the top side of the map. Tally was playing up there. He was getting picked on by Topoon, who once again is having a career game right now. So yeah, completely agree that, you know, this has been one of those games that the map has dictated a lot of it, but you have to give credit to Mammoth because they have really played the map well and are just showing that this is a team that is continuing to grow and continually on the rise.
Yeah, and we're starting to see that promise of you know, the trademark super team coming through because it is a combination of solid individual performances across the board and team play, which was the missing element last time. Swiffer does come in, you know, tries to scare the living heck out of Mammoth, but they're having none of it. There are strength in numbers, and Jake continually sitting there trying to get his taunt off and just defend this turret. They do have a lot of push courtesy of the Tristana. Babbitt chunked out, very low, has the Guardian Angel as well, though, so he doesn't fear it, and they tag their way back. Destiny on the knockup, Swiffer limping away. Jake is going to come in with that hero's entrance just to dissuade and distract. Babbitt is somehow still alive, King flashing, taking down the support. Mammoth still own this map.
And once again, Tally is not there. That is a 4v5. It looks so good on the grand entrance play, but they can't stop it, and now the base will be broken.
Sleepy Trouble Bubble landing on Tally forces him to cleanse out of it, and now the first inhibitor of the game will be claimed by Mammoth. The chunk damage is real, and it looks like Babbitt's going to get pulled in by Tally, but that is into the Guardian Angel, and he can tag his way back out. Mammoth can walk away from this without losing anyone.
And Triple just saved Babbitt's life, because if he hadn't chunked out Dream there, taken him down to next to no health, then the Tristana would have just put 2 shots into him and he would have fallen. Spook's trying to stop some of these recalls. But as I said, Pyra, when you're running the same comp, if you get a Baron buff, if you get a lead, you're able to just push in and break turrets very easily. And that is what Mammoth did.
And Mammoth playing very safely with what they've decided to pick up as well. You can see the QSS is coming for Destiny because he realizes every single time he's the one getting grabbed by Spooks. So everyone else is slippery enough to really get out, or in Topoon's case, to not care.
Yeah, well, I think Topoon's the only one left that really does care, because he doesn't have the mobility of Babip. So if he gets pulled and they don't have a tank, yeah, but 20% execute
That's true.
is so massive. And then when you use Stoneplate, what people forget is if you use Stoneplate too late, it doesn't actually give you the bonus health. So you're still in 20% range. This is the other mark I was going to mention, is that Mammoth actually have so much of the map to take with that Baron buff. They pushed down mid, but they had bottom lane outer turrets to take still if they wanted to.
A lot of standing gold.
Goes top and picks up the last remaining turrets for his team right now.
But Swiffer's kind of on the side lane duty. Yes, he's been great at securing picks, or at least getting in the position to secure them or scare Mammoth away. But as long as Mammoth kind of group up here like they have been, now they find themselves a death brush. They don't seem to be too afraid of the Order mid laner. Trouble Bubble does land onto the Skarner. Tally body blocks, but this is opening up just enough for King to finish off bottom tier 2.
Absolutely right. You can see that they stick to the play. They stay with the push. They keep all 5 members on the same part of the screen. And the kind of criticism I'll throw at Order is that Tally has been late a couple of fights. Dream was late one fight, and that they really haven't been able to fight that full 5v5 brawl fest. That means that we're now at the stage of the game where Kai'Sa reigns supreme in terms of damage on an 80 carry. Dream really needs that upgraded Last Whisper, and he's still nearly a full item behind.
That's the trouble right now for Order. You know, a fight, they have been some very close ones. A fight that goes Order's way decisively could turn things around yet, but it just seems to be slowly slipping out of their grasp.
See, 3,000 gold, that's the full item I was talking about.
Oh, yeah. And also, like, you look at the scores contributed to that as well. King has been able to mop up kills. Meanwhile, Dream's been held to only 3 assists. Neither AD carry has died this game, so kudos to their positioning.
But that's just because it's been big. 5v5. And see, they go one more time.
Tally. He's going to hop back into his team. Tapoon still on the front. Gets one slice down, taunted up. In comes Destiny once again. He's been tagging in great this game. They will find Jake, and Babip and King delete him off the map. Redemption comes a smidgen too late. Hop away from Dream. Followed through by King. There's the shutdown. They pick up Tally. The triple kill for the Kai'Sa.
And that's going to do. That is 3 members dead. Only Swiffer and Spooks left alive and available. Spooks is trying to grab the wave, but it's not going to be enough. Actually, Swiffer somehow killed King.
Yeah, inside the base at this point. He's trying to really get some misdirection on and distract the rest of Mammoth. He's going to be walking through here, but he's going to be cut off by the rest of them as they bring the line through. So not a perfect game in for King, but they should still be able to end this now with the ace at 36.
Yeah, they certainly should be able to. Spooks went on the mission to get the wave. Swiffer went on the mission for the 80 carry, but overall, Mammoth win the mission of taking down the Nexus and continue their climb in the OPL.
Well, that is the win condition. You want that smooth 50 gold there, Spawn. So Mammoth will go up 4-0 in their last 4 games, taking down Order. Got to be relieving after how this split has started for Mammoth to show that consistency, to show the promise of the super team, of the super squad of names coming together 4 games in a row now and finding wins.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think more than that, you know, you have to continue to applaud Topoon's growth as a rookie in the league, certainly making his case for rookie of the split up there with someone like Ayla, I think, at the moment, if I was going to weigh them, you know, 1 and 2. And Topoon just was able to dictate that early game. You could see that Order had the stronger bottom mid lane. They wanted to play around it, but they weren't able to. The neutral objectives were just air drakes, ocean drakes. There's nothing to kick off a snowball there. So they go searching in Tally's lane, but Topoon had already won it. He'd already got the solo kill. He'd already forced out the flash. And that just meant that the Order lineup ran out of options. They weren't able to get 5 members to the play, and Topoon continually there first. What a performance from the young man. Like, just continue to heap on praise for him. And I think that Mammoth have well and truly arrived as, you know, a very good team within the OPL. Took a couple of weeks, but it seems to be working.
I think they do. Tusks up all the way. Let's send it back to the couch to see what they think about that one.
Alrighty. Bryce.
Yep.
You and I were sitting here during the draft.
Yep.
You kept making a lot of weird noises.
Yeah.
Shaking your head a lot. You'd write a note, then you just go, "Dah, dah," and then you'd make another noise.
Yeah.
Explain yourself.
Well, it was just a very interesting draft, right? I feel like the first pick, Galio, Devon was talking about like top lane. I feel like it was much more likely to go into the hands of Jake, and that is where it ended up. I was surprised Order didn't take something like the Jarvan early, you know what I mean? They went for this very specific Skarner composition,
Skarner, yeah.
And it turned into like Galio was just a pick for them, and it wasn't a Galio composition. And this is much more of a thing when like Galio was in the support role, Like the mid lane Galio doesn't dictate the game, but all over the place. Like it just got kind of weird, right? They got themselves like the Urgot into the Scion. Jake was saying Topoon had a very good performance, but the draft did just pan out very weird, I think.
Yeah, that's the thing as well. Like it's a Galio first pick, and then they ban away the Nocturne. You're like they ban away some of the combos. Mammoth did respect ban the Jarvan. You know, they got rid of some of them themselves, but Order didn't help themselves in regards to their own composition. They seem to have just picked the Galio seemingly away from Destiny.
Yeah.
And for what it's worth, you know, not to be mean to the player, but Jake felt out of sorts on the champion. It doesn't seem like he was comfortable.
Yeah.
And that's very noticeable through his play. So the draft resulted in super weird stuff for Order. But what I will say is their draft did have some cohesion, and that was on the top side of the map. That is an Urgot LeBlanc with a Skarner. That's a guaranteed kill. That's a snowball through the top side of the map. Topoon was just solo killing the Urgot, though, and that threw everything into the weird outcomes.
Because like the reason we're highlighting like Order's draft is because it really did feel like they needed to get things done early, and then the fact that you mentioned like Topoon genuinely like Urgot versus Scion. This is just the most basic top matchup for the past 3 patches. They're just tanks whacking away. It's like a 60-40 at best, favored towards Scion. And then he just straight up solo kills him. And then like everything goes into complete disarray. Like the bottom lane is fine. Order keep rotating away from bottom lane and opens up space for King and Destiny to play their game. Mammoth in the last couple of weeks have now looked like they are much more cohesive. Like as Jake was saying as well, like they're constantly at the play first, even though Order have like the hard force composition, which is a really good thing to see because they're all very good individual players, and it has been the team play that has been lacking, but they're obviously predicting what is happening. There is that foresight there. They're getting there early, and then when these players look good together, they just look very good across the board.
I mean, Order not having the season or the split that they necessarily wanted or potentially even thought that they would. It's been a bit up and down. Do Order start getting worried now? Because it is a becoming a trend. It's not just an anomaly.
I think this is actually the second wave of worry for Order, right? Remember their first week was a 0-2 start. And you're like, oh God, it's happening again. But then they found themselves.
But then they face Bombers tomorrow. So
Exactly.
this is not looking like a weekend that, they can particularly, easily overcome.
That's the thing. It's starting to get worse and worse. Like they lost games in their, what I would call the easy week for their own schedule. Now they're in the hard week. They've lost the first game. Didn't look very convincing from them. There were some individual stars that I think played fine. Like Swiffer had a very good game, but like against Bombers, I don't think it gets any easier.
Yeah, and I think like on the other side of the coin, talking about Mammoth season as well, you would much rather that trajectory.
Yep.
Everybody in League of Legends, like the season is marked by MSI and Worlds. You either want to be peaking in the middle of the year or the end of the year.
Yep.
If you start like crap, it's like, okay, guys, like we need to fix this, but they obviously have. They're on the ramp, and their season is following what is like a very stable trajectory upwards, and that must feel good for them, because 2 weeks ago, we're like, man, what is happening to this team? And now the team is here.
Well, let's find out if it does feel good for them, because we have one of those guys at the desk right now. It's King. He's sitting with Pyro.
Well, I'll be bound down after a performance like that. Your Highness, congratulations. You got 4 wins in a row now. How is the team feeling after that really rough couple of weeks?
It's just a wave of relief, really. Like, obviously, I talked about this last week, that the first 3 weeks we were like, oh my, like, what's going on? We're not getting better. It like looks like we're getting worse, but now we finally just, it's a steady, but, it's going upwards, how good we're getting.
Yeah, you talked about how the team had kind of shifted its mindset to start playing more to win rather than to not lose. But you guys still seem to be playing fairly like calculated. You're still choosing these fights, and are you just like seeing these things like ahead of time, because you really seem to have Order's number in all those engagements?
Well, team comp wise, we saw like what they wanted to do. They picked LeBlanc, Urgot, who is like strong in the. He's supposed to be the stronger, the aggressive side of the San vs Urgot matchup, and the Tristana Galio. So we're like, okay, we're just gonna wait for our item spikes, our level spikes, and we'll just play it out, and that's what happened.
Fair enough. Yeah, let's talk a little bit about Topoon, because we really gave him a lot of praise this game for his evolution as a player. How has it been playing with a new guy in the lineup and really starting to see him shine?
So last year we played with, me and Steven played with Bio, and he was obviously like sort of the same position as Topoon, like just rookies, never played OPL before. But I think they're very different stylistically as players. Like Bio had the very good team play, and he had to be taught like the individual, like how to win the matchups, stuff like that. And Jihoon, or Topoon, needed to be taught the team play, because right now I think he is by far the best top lane 1v1 player, but he just needs to learn the team play, and he's progressing really, really fast, as shown in the past 2 weeks.
Yeah, this game especially really showcased it. Okay, I'll leave you on a fun one here. You went deathless, almost.
Yep.
And basically, at the very end, you guys were pushing in, and off-screen, Swiffer just executes you. How mad were you at the very end there?
I'm not sure my cam was on, but I was actually just confused. I was just banging my head like how does that happen? I was so far ahead.
Because you're waiting for the Skarner to come and delete you. That's why you had the TSS, and then all of a sudden the LeBlanc kills you. Right?
I thought it was a free kill, but he just one-shot me. Simo just knew.
As an AD carry main, I hate that too, man. Every single time, like, oh, assassins. All right, well, thank you very much, King. Congratulations on the win. Let's send it back over to the couch.
We're back. Bryce, are you okay?
Yeah, I had a leg cramp halfway through the segment. As soon as the camera switched off, I'm just like, ah!